Perfect. So welcome everyone. My name is Melanie Levenberg and this session is called Developing Physical Literacy Through Dance, all about how we can use dance as a platform to develop physical literacy with our students. Obviously recognizing right now that we're all in our own homes. Our students are learning from home, and as we do re-entries, perhaps in the fall, that dance is going to be a really powerful way for us to get our students active while also maintaining the physical distance requirements as we go back into schools, hopefully soon. So this workshop is to give you some ideas. So it's going to be an active workshop like Jesse mentioned. I would love to dance with you today. If I don't know how you're feeling, but with everything that has been happening over the last 3 months, I think I keep saying this when I work with educators, is that us as teachers have always shown up first for our students. We've always shown up first for our families and our communities. We're constantly thinking about what other people need, because I think that that is the core of every single educator's hearts. But after 3 months, that can get a little bit tiring. And I think that, for a lot of us in the last 2 to 3 weeks, things have just kind of been piling up. And obviously with the recent just movements that have been happening in the world, just all of us wanting to learn how we can do better and constantly desiring to improve our skills, just recognizing that all of this care and desire to improve takes energy. And it takes energy from us. And, showing up as the best version of ourselves isn't always as easy as it might have been a year ago. Remember last year when we thought things were intense? You guys remember that version? Well, right? Just hug that person. So today's class, if anything, today's workshop, if anything, if it just gives you an outlet where you get to move your body and kind of be in your house and, have a dance party with yourself. My approach to teaching dance is very simple. I like using fundamental movement skills to teach choreography. So it's not about what the coolest dance moves are, but what are the fundamental movement skills that we can develop using the platform of dance? And how do we get students to come on board with us and to feel the effects of physical activity, moderate to vigorous physical activity? That's a hint, you're going to sweat. And just getting into that heart rate zone and actually feeling the benefits of movement and of exercise. I'm going to share a quick little, I'm just going to walk you through a quick little PowerPoint, just to contextualize physical literacy, and then we're going to jump into the dances. But I do encourage you, if you have kids at home, and if they're not doing homeschooling right now, and if they just need, you bring them in, the more the merrier. Parents, partners, roommates, animals, everyone is welcome, okay? So I'm going to do a few share edits here so that you can hear the best audio, and then I'm going to hop into this PowerPoint presentation. And so, perfect. I'm getting pretty good. I'm getting pretty quick about this. So this is your workshop, top songs that develop physical literacy through dance. And I'm still, okay. So, my name is Melanie Levenberg. For those of you who don't know, I am a Canadian. I'm based out of Vancouver, British Columbia, but I love working with educators across the US. I sit on the Physical Education Council for Shape America. And I'm really committed to working with teachers to help them feel more confident in teaching purposeful physical education curriculum, whatever that looks like. And today's workshop is centered on dance. I have a master's in teaching curriculum teaching and learning, and I also am the author of Teaching Dance for Understanding. As we're dancing today, please feel free to take some pictures. Feel free to tag that, and also if you guys want to tag me in it, my Twitter is Melanie_play, and on Instagram and Facebook is just my full name, Melanie Levenberg. All right, so what is physical literacy? If you haven't dove into this concept yet, or if it's just emerging in your world, this is a definition that I love because it's so simple. It gives me a really easy sound bite and something I can easily remember when I communicate to people what it is that I'm doing. So whether that's students or parents or administrators or my colleagues, physical literacy is the competence, the confidence, and the motivation to be active for life. So when we think about the competence, our role as a physical education teacher is how do we develop competence in our students? What are the fundamental movement skills, like their physical ability to develop fundamental movement skills? And how do we foster the development of those skills in our PE program so that regardless of what activity they choose to do in life, that they feel confident in the movements that they're doing because they're physically able to do it. And obviously as they're able to do it, and as you're designing your lesson plans, thinking about how are my lesson plans actually inspiring students to feel confident with their movement, confident about being active. And then the third domain is the motivation aspect. So it's not good, it's not enough to just say I'm really good at a skill and I feel confident when I'm doing the skill, but how much do I actually value physical activity in my life? Like what part of my life does movement take a part of? And so all of three of those together will lead to students who choose to be active for life. So when it comes to dance, the question I have for you today, and asking yourself as you're designing your lesson plans, how can I use dance to enhance my students' physical literacy journey? Remember that physical literacy is not a place that you get to, it's a lifelong journey. It flexes as you develop new skills, as your levels of confidence are impacted, as motivation changes in your life. You know, like right now, all of our physical literacy journey has been impacted by the fact that we're limited in the space that we can live in. Like the amount of stress that we're all under. These are all elements that affect our desire to be active and affect all of our journeys. So just considering that, and how do we foster a lifelong value for movement and physical activity in our students, and how can we do that through dance? So for you today, your learning goal is you can demonstrate a variety of movement skills and movement patterns, and I can participate safely in dances that develop physical literacy. So I always do these learning goals with my students, that you know what we're doing, and I encourage you that you start every lesson with these I can statements so that the students know what are we working on today, what matters. So participating safely is in green, and I can't see the chat right now, but if you guys want to go in, I feel like you'll give us the right answers, but go into the chat and tell me, how do I know that you're participating safely right now? What are some things right now in your home that you would need to do in order to show me that you're participating safely? Like how are we going to define the success criteria for safe participation? I actually can see the chat. Look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna move all the stuff out of the way, totally. Move the chairs out of the way. Yes, move furniture. Yes, yes. I am aware of my space, amazing. And so this applies even when we're in our PE programs in our gymnasiums. You're thinking about how does moving safely, what does that look like in our program right now? Putting sneakers on, I love it. Amazing. So what we're doing here is we're co-constructing success criteria. The students are telling me how they're going to be successful at the goals of the day. And so there's already this like concept of like, oh, I'm going to be learning this. This is how I'm going to be successful. So there's the learning and the growth mindset is already open. They are understanding where we're going with it. So, all right, I'm going to hop out. These are the tags. The program that this is based on is called Dance Play. So this workshop is developing physical literacy through dance. We're going to learn 5 dances today. And the dances are designed to develop fundamental movement skills while getting students active. The program that it's based on is Dance Play. And in this program, there are 3 rules that every single student has to follow during the dance class. Those rules are, the first rule is that you have to be positive. So what does it mean to be positive? It means that as you face a challenge like dance, if I'm teaching you a dance move or a dance step and you're saying to yourself, just notice if in your mind, things like, I can't do this, this is way too hard. Or maybe you're at home and you're like, I feel ridiculous doing this. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how silly I look right now. Our brains, I don't know why this happens, but we go into this autopilot of negative self-talk if we're not instantly good at something. So I just want you today to notice if that's where your brain goes and consciously choose to switch it. To say, you know what, level 1, you're just gonna say, I'm gonna give it a try, I'm gonna give it a try, I'm gonna give it a try. Level 2, you're gonna say to yourself, you know what, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And level 3, you can say to yourself, you know what, I am awesome. Amazing. Now, the second rule, I'm just gonna change the screen here, pin video. Okay, the second rule is that you're not allowed to have fun. And I say this to every single student in every single class that we teach. And all the students go, oh, what? That's because I can't have fun. I can't say like, oh, Jesse, I'm gonna be right back. I just have to go get my fun. Like, oh, here's my fun, I'm ready to go. You can't have fun. So I don't want you to have fun right now. The second rule is that you have to be fun. So right now you get 30 minutes of your time, of your day to practice being the most fun version of yourself. Like think just like right now in your own life, taking the workshop hat off and just putting your own, reflection hat on. How many minutes of your day have you spent practicing being fun? Have you at any point in the last week or 2 weeks or month felt like, oh, everything is so serious? Why can't we just have more fun? It's like we're all waiting for well, when this situation is resolved and when these people are saying nicer things and when all of my report cards are done and when summer's finally here but it's sunny and all of these external things, then I can show up and be fun. When really being fun fun, being the most fun version of yourself, regardless of what's out here, is the discipline, because you get to create the fun. And so right now, this is a dance workshop, yes, but it's not about dance. It's more so about practicing being, how would the most fun version of yourself do these dance moves? Now, the third rule is that you have to be yourself. So you'll see that in this dance class, I'm going to teach you a dance move, and we're all going to do the same move at the same time. But the way that you do the dance move should look different than the person who's beside you, because every single one of us has different thoughts. We've got different opinions and a different style. We've got a different way to move. We've got different talents to share with the world. So why is it in a dance class, people think that they're supposed to just follow the teacher? Am I getting it like the teacher? Because that's not a dance class. That's a copying class. And I don't know about you, but for me, when I bring dance into my PE program, it is one of the only times when students actually get to be creative. It's one of the only times where they get to like express themselves. So why is it that we use teaching methods where literally the students are just copying us? The way that we teach and the words that we're using and the context that we set, how are we setting it up so that students explore their own bodies and feel confident in adding their own style? Because remember, what I teach all students is that when you're adding your own style, your job today is to do every single move, and that as you're doing the moves, it should look different. It should look different. And when you're adding your own style, you can't get it wrong. So right now, wherever you are, take your finger. I want you to point it to someone, like even if they're not in the same room as you, like point it to like the other room. If you don't live with anyone, you can point it towards your neighbor, your roommate, whatever. Just say, hey, you can't get it wrong. And then you take your other hand, you're gonna point it to someone else. And if there isn't anyone else, point it to the screen right now and say, hey, you can't get this wrong. Now you're gonna take both your fingers and you're gonna point them right to your face. And you're gonna say, hey, you can't get this wrong. So this activity that I just did with the you can't get it wrong pointing, use that with your students. It opens their mind, be like, wait, I can't get this wrong. In this class, there is no left foot, right foot choreography. I don't care which foot you're ever going on, it doesn't matter. If we wanna develop competent, confident movers in the first stages of dance, I don't care which foot they're on. When they're doing a dance unit, they're preparing a final dance performance, then they need to refine their skills. But in these initial moments, I just want them to enjoy movement for the sake of movement. People are saying that they can't hear me. Can other people hear me? I've had a lot of nods. Okay, good. Okay. Woo, it would have been really awkward. Okay, that it took you this long to say me. Okay. With that being said, everyone, I want you to make sure that you've got enough space in your house. Like, I know everyone doesn't have like a huge open living room like this. Like I really need, there's a lot of behind the scenes furniture piled on top of one another. But make sure that you at least have a little bit of room to go side to side. And I want you to take your hands, put them up above your head. Bend your knees, bring your hands all around your body like this. Everyone, this is called your bubble of awesome. It is a space all around your body where you get to be the most awesome version of yourself. So your job today is to fill up your bubble with your own style, with your own moves. Every single thing that I'm teaching you right now, you can bring these concepts to your students, okay? So we're gonna jump, and you're going to let your feet leave the ground. You're going to land, and when you land, I want you to strike a pose. Use your wrists and your elbows, your face, your knees to do something that's completely different than anyone who is on the screen, different than me. The energy that you put into it is what you're going to get back. This is the same as in life. The energy that you put in is what you're going to get back. So you can be at home right now, eating your cereal on a non-video screen. I know, I do the same thing. It's okay, I'm not mad at you. But you can be like, oh yeah, like I have a chance right now to like jump in and actually make the most of this. Like I actually, if I want to improve, if I want to like harness that energy, I have to show up. So it's like you could be like, here's my pose. She's getting me to do the pose. Okay. Or you could be like, yes, this is the energy I want to bring into my life. I'm ready. And like, I am awesome. So on the count of 3, I want us all to jump together and strike a pose in our bubble of awesome. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Change your pose on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Change your pose on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. All right, let's get silly, let's get playful, let's develop some fundamental movement skills, and most importantly, let's just find joy through movement. Can you guys hear the music okay? Yeah? If you want me to turn up the music, you let me know. All you're gonna do is jump in, out, like this, in, out, just like that, in, out. Connected to the beat, you go in, out. You got it. The move is really easy. You're just going to step back. side. Alright, everyone on our feet, be still. We put one foot down, the other foot goes around in a circle, other way. And as you do this, you raise yourself from like face your neighbor. Other way, other way. Everybody hop spot, you're gonna go 3 feet, 1 foot. 2 feet, 1 foot. Go. A little hop. Now if this move, you're gonna do a hop spot. Over in this space. You got it. Perfect, awesome. Everybody, stand up. I was reading the comments. Listen to the music, smile right. Smile right now. You can look in the camera, smile right. You just have a great day in your house, smile and let it everybody, keep clear. Everybody needs this. Out of the way. When I hear you, turn your eyes to your neighbor. Through the window. Your kid. Everybody walk on the spot. Walk. Relax your elbows. That's what we expected. Slowly bring your elbows up a little more. Like the shoulder. Keep your thumbs underneath your armpit. That's right, it's a chicken hand. Relax your toes, chicken hand. One, two, three, smallest little chicken. Now do the biggest chicken you can find in your space. Perfect. Okay, everyone. So in this next song, I want to pre-teach you a move. I hope you're smiling. Again, how to do the most fun version of yourself. Do a chicken dance. Right? It's not that serious. So pre-teaching you the move. So this is called the Spiderman Slide. So when we do a Spiderman Slide, you're just going to, I don't care which way you go, slide one way, slide the other way. And then you're going to do 4 rep shots. It's a little bit fast. So I just wanted to show you, I don't want to just like call it Spiderman Slide. You're going to do slide, slide, 4 Spiderman web shots. And then I'm going to ask you to do a Spiderman web shot like you're holding on at the very tip of the tallest building in New York City, and then you land. And then you're going to shoot, hold the balance, and then land. That's all you need to know. Let's do Spiderman Dance. Ready? Run through like this.
Spiderman, Spiderman, does whatever a spider can. Spins the web, and he sighs, catches thieves, just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spiderman. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spiderman. In the sheer light, at the scene of crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spiderman, Spiderman, friendly neighborhood Spiderman. From fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spiderman. In the chill of night, at the scene of crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find the Spider-Man.
Awesome. All right. We're going to do some basketball. We're going to dribble a basketball. Then switch hands. Do it very slow. You got it. Switch hands. Here we go. Back feet in the middle. Now back feet go wide. Back feet go wide. Look at that motion. Huge motion.
Just bounce to this. Just bounce to this.
It's still active. We're gonna chill it out for a second. Can you hear that? Can you hear it? We're gonna punch. This song was created with Kate Fox, who's an engineer out of California. She's like, I want to do some cross-lateral dance moves. And she came up with a choreo. I love it. We're gonna shuffle through the space. Shuffle. So here when we talk about developing fundamental movement skills, we want to coach our students on the tips of their toes by shuffling your feet Center of gravity nice and low. Okay, I'm going to teach you a cross in front, cross behind combo. Crisscross jumping ducks. Looks like this. Cross to the back. Crisscross your feet. You got it. Tap in front, tap behind. Crisscross jumping jacks. So it's all about crossing the midline right now. We're getting our brain engaged. We move our body not just to feel good, but also to help us physically, cognitively. Crisscross. Ready? Skip it out 8 times. Now tap your opposite knee to your elbow. You got it. Now punch 4 times fast, 2 times slow. Now fast flurries as fast as you can punch. Shuffle it out. On the tips of your toes. Go right back into that combo, right back into the combo. Front, to the back. Crisscross, you can add your hands as a challenge on those crisscross jumps. Those hands can really cross anywhere. Ready? Skip it out, skip it out. Opposite elbow to the knee. 4 fast, 2 slow. Exploding as fast as you can. Shuffle it out. Now where else can you go in the space in your house? Shuffle. Well, crisscross tap. Tap to the back. Sometimes you miss our transitions. That's okay. You got it. Cross in front. Tap back. Crisscross out those hands. Take it out. Cross elbow to the knee. Yeah, you're awesome. Punch it out 4 times. 2 slow. And tap flurries. All right, this time we're ready to go through the space. We'll find a spot in your house where you can shuffle and shuffle there. Shuffle. Keep going. You got it. Start taking your way back to the spot. Now do cross punches on the feet. Shuffle. Like how much distance can you cover? Cross punches on the feet. Amazing stuff, everybody. Well done, well done. So I'm gonna pause the music for a second, let you grab some water. I'm gonna dab my face. Woo. So what you'll see with this, here's my pop quiz to you in the chat. Can anyone tell me, in this dance experience, have we met the requirements for moderate to vigorous physical activity as it relates to the zones and times that we need to be in to get the health benefits of movement and high cardio? Check in with how you're feeling. Your heart is beating. You might be sweating. I sweat a lot. Everyone's saying yes. Feels like it, doesn't it? It feels good, but right now you have only been dancing for 12 minutes. No, 15 minutes. So yes, we did. This is what a nonstop dance experience that gets our students into this moderate to vigorous physical activity heart rate zone. And I only say this is because as educators, when we're planning our PE classes and our lessons, if you're not thinking about like, what's my class design and how much of my activity choice gets students into this heart rate zone, not just for 2 minutes, not just for 6 minutes, not just for 9 minutes, but getting them into that heart rate zone for 12 to 15 minutes of sustained moderate to vigorous physical activity. The one thing that always irks me, or I like to bring awareness to, is when physical education teachers post the brain diagram where they're just like, look everyone, here's the brain before movement and physical activity, and this is how the brain lights up after movement. Our job is so important. And so the activity that was in that study was walking, great, not a moderate to vigorous physical activity for most people. But we're using these studies that validate exercise if we're saying that our job is to give these students these experiences, our responsibility is to design lessons that get them in these target heart rate zones. So how much of your lesson are they active, moving, getting their heart rates up? And how much time do you have to even play with them? In Canada, a lot of our lessons are 30 minutes long, total, like entering the gym and then leaving. That means like there's not a lot of time. That's why these like goals, as soon as they walk in, this is what we're doing today. Your learning goal today is I can do these things. I can, let's co-construct success criteria. Let's get moving. And at the end, there's a debrief. That's my lesson. Whether I'm doing golf or soccer or territory invasion games, teaching kids for understanding, dance, even yoga. Like we bring movement and activity into yoga, not the whole time, but some of the time. This dance is an amazing platform to do powerful things. It's a way for us, when it comes to physical literacy, when someone is physically literate, they have competencies, they are confident, and they're motivated to be active for life. What's the extension to that? Is that when you are someone who is on their journey for physical literacy and you're starting to feel confident and motivated, there's a natural desire, or us as PE teachers can help develop this natural desire to get other people involved, to inspire others through movement. So for us, with the COVID isolations, we really wanted to use dance as a way to bring people together. And so in April, we created a dance to the song Underdog by Alicia Keys. And the idea was, in Vancouver, every single night at 7 o'clock, the whole city stops, everyone goes outside and they bang pots and pans. And I know that a few other cities have done this. Every single night, literally every single night. And we're like, well, instead of just banging pots and pans, what if every night, or some of the nights, a few people played some music and then people danced along to this dance in honor of the frontline heroes. So I'm sharing this dance with you as an idea of how you can spark people coming together in order to speak a message or to send a message as close to their hearts. Now, with the Black Lives Matter movement, with Pride Month, with summer, with COVID isolations, I challenge you and I ask you, what could you do to inspire your students to connect something that they feel is close to their heart with movement and inspire others to join? And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that, but I challenge you to think about this because, as you know, dance is a very powerful and really safe activity to do in these socially distant, physically isolated times. So I'm going to teach you the course combo. This is what it is. This goes out to, so we're going to drive the car. This is the course combo. So when we talk about dance play, and the whole idea is that we just teach along, like students show up and I have dances to teach to them. That's part one of the experience. But ultimately, I'm not opposed to learning choreo, but I want them to learn it once they're excited about dancing. Just like this, if this is what dance is, I want in. So now they're excited, and now I'm giving them more of a challenge, in a cognitive challenge. Can you remember a sequence of movements? And a physical challenge, can you physically do these movements on the rhythm? And now it kind of matters which foot you're on, not for us, but if you're doing this as a performance, and you kind of need everyone to go in the same direction. We're not going to add that layer today, but we are going to add a little bit more of complex choreography, what I consider complex choreography. Okay, so I'm going to lift up my thing a bit more. Okay, so for this, what we're going to do is, the first move is going to be bend your knees, and it's like you're going to drive the car. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So then it goes, I can't remember the first one. This goes out to the hustlers. Da, 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 da. Then it goes single mothers, rocking the baby, leaning forward, waiting for the check to come. Put your hands up and bring in the money. And then student teachers or doctors. So we're going to do a jumping jack, because if I'm going to represent teachers, I'm going to represent physical education teachers. So we're going to do just a little jumping jack 4 times. And then stop, stop, knowing that they ain't got no place to run. We're going to run up. Slide, tap 4 times. This goes up to the underdogs. Keep on keeping with the, I don't know the words. And then once we've done 4 slide claps, you're just going to boogie your shoulders like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Don't worry about what it looks like. You're just going to like boogie to one side, boogie to the other side. Then you're going to drop down, rise up, yeah. Okay, so we'll try it one more time from the top. So we're going to drive the car, and I'm going to cue this as we're dancing. Drive the car twice, then rock the baby, cash money, jumping jack, PE teachers in the house, You got it. And then stomp, stomp, run it up. The hands are there for fun. Force the slide taps. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booty your shoulders one side, the other side, and go down to up. That's the combo, that's the chorus. I'm also going to share with you this dance. And we're going to do a round of adding in more people into our video. We already have instructors from around the world who have done this, but we're going to do another round inviting more people, students, kids, families, to join us on this dance video. So I'm going to share that link with you guys also. All right, let's dance. Go into your spot right now and claim your bubble of awesome while I do this. So go into your spot, shuffle your feet really fast. On the count of 3, claim your bubble of awesome. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. All right, we're just gonna do a little boogie move like this.
He was walking and she looked up and noticed he was nameless, he was homeless. She asked him his name and told him what hers was. He gave her a story about a life with a glint in his eye and a corner of a smile. One conversation, a simple moment, the things that change us if we notice when we look up sometimes. They said I would never make it, but I was built to break the mold. The only dream that I've been chasing is my own. So I sing a song for the hustlers trading at the bus stop, single mothers waiting on a jet to come, young teachers, student doctors, sons on the front line knowing they don't get to run. This goes up to the underdog. Keep on keeping it what you love, and you'll find that someday, soon enough, you will rise up, yeah. Back to the kitchen, talking to the driver about his wife and his children, on a run from a country where they put you in prison for being a woman and speaking your mind. She looked in his eyes in the mirror and he smiled. One conversation, a single moment, the things that change us if we notice when we look up sometimes. They said I would never make it, but I was built to break the mold. The only dream that I've been chasing is my own. So I sing a song for the hustlers trading at the bus stop, single mothers waiting on a check to come, young teachers, student doctors, sons on the front line knowing they don't get to run. This goes up to the underdog. Keep on keeping it what you love, and you'll find that someday, soon enough, you will rise up, yeah.
Everyone, we finish every single class the exact same way. You take your hands down between your legs like this, and you shake it out, shake it out. On the count of 3, you're gonna breathe in through your nose. You're gonna burst your palms open as big as you can. And in that moment, you're gonna close your eyes in your head without making a sound. You're gonna say to yourself the 3 most important words you'll ever learn to say to yourself. I am awesome. Ready? Shake it out, shake it out. Leave anything that does not serve you on the floor here today. On the count of 3, all I want you to do is just breathe in. Don't make a sound, just one big breath. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. This next part we do a second time. We do this next thing a second time because I really believe with us And the company that I have, we get to go into schools. We work literally with millions of students. We work with thousands of teachers. And if I can help every single student who interacts with us and our program to remember and take this moment every single time that they do movement to practice this, I want this to be how I take action in the world, how I make an impact, like equipping our students with tiny little micro skills that they can tap into at any single time. When I think about the amount of responsibility that I put on myself for saving the world and making everyone okay, I'm a type A person. Anyone else type A? Anyone else? Okay. I just feel like this huge sense of like, how can I possibly make a change? And then I tap into it and I remember it's every interaction I have with students, every interaction I have with teachers, in equipping the people that I get to serve with little skills that when they need these in their lives, so that they remember that they have them. So for us, this activity, we're going to shake our hands down. We're going to do it a second time, but this time you're going to say, I am awesome. And you're going to say it out loud, because what we're doing here is we're practicing that when this thing opens, that positive words come out of it, because every word that we speak is a choice. So why not choose words that lift each other up? Choose words that show the possibilities. Choose words that show hope. Choose words that celebrate greatness, that celebrate achievement. Choose words that bring us into great energy so that we can keep showing up and being the best version of ourselves in this world, so that we can make change, so that we can address challenging situations, so that we can show up for our families and our communities. Take your hands this time, you're going to shake it down, and you're going to say it from the deepest parts of your belly so loud. I promise you, I want to hear it from Vancouver, British Columbia, across the continent. You're going to say it not just because I'm the presenter being like, I am awesome. I want you to say it because you know how amazing you are and the responsibility and the platform that you have to make actual change in people's lives. You are educators. This is a vocation that you have chosen to make a difference in the lives of kids. And every single day when you choose to show up as the best version of yourself. Know how truly awesome you are and the power you have to help kids move better, feel better, and interact better with their world. Take your hands, shake it out. On the count of 3, as loud as you can. If someone's drinking tea in your house, I want them to spit it out. I want your kids to be like, Mom, Dad. I want, your neighbors to like call a noise complaint because you said it so loud. On the count of 3, I am awesome. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am awesome. Beautiful. And we finish always with high fives. Now our high fives have also turned into I-5s. So even though I'm in a space with someone and I might not physically be able to connect with them at this time, I'm going to look at them right in the eye and I'm going to say to them, you are awesome. And before I give them a high five, so whether you go back to classes and you eventually bring back those high fives, just know that I always teach people, don't just find a hand. Our students, when we say go give someone a high five, they're like hand, 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 hand. Sound familiar? And I say, don't find a human, don't find a hand, find a human, oh my gosh. I always say find a human, not a hand. So I want you to go and I want you to find a human, look at them in the eye. You say, you are awesome. You take a moment and then you give each other a high five, or until COVID restrictions are lifted, an I-5, just an air 5. I'm going to share the link with you guys so that you can get the choreography notes. And if you guys are interested in learning more, we just launched a school leadership certificate. It's an online self-paced course where it's every single workshop I have ever taught, teaching dance for understanding, designing dance units, dance play skills, learning how to teach what I do there, developing physical literacy through dance, rubrics, assessment tools, examples, standards-based learning. And then once you have all that information, you get to decide how you're going to take action as a leader in your community next year. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's on sale right now for $88 because we just launched it. And it's literally every single training and workshop I've ever done for teachers all in one place, and it's all online. In this time, I think that we've got time to study, but I really want to inspire teachers to reflect on what matters most in their hearts and how, when they go back to school, what they want to do with their students, who they want to be for their students. And sometimes just having like an action plan that's focused on those two things, who do you want to be and how are you going to bring movement to reconnect students after they've been physically disconnected, and help them be in a space with each other, using the power of movement, the power of music. So if that's something that you're really interested in, that online course is available now. So it was so amazing dancing with all of you. Thank you so much. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of the session today and into the summer. And please connect with me on social media. Amazing.
Thank you for watching this session from EPEW 2020. We're saving the next few minutes for you to ask those final questions before we log off. If you have any questions afterwards, please reach out to the presenter or send a message to EPEW through our website.
Don't forget that we have more amazing sessions going on. Head over to our website, epew-cp.weebly.com, and look for the virtual EPEW 2020 tab.
You can also access the presentations on YouTube by typing in the hashtag EPEW2020.
We'd like to thank the amazing EPEW committee for all their hard work over this past year. This event would not have been possible without their dedication, commitment, and volunteering their time to providing high-quality professional development.
Don't forget about our other events like our socials and share times. Links can be found on our website.
Remember our motto for EPEW, come to learn, leave as family. Thank you for joining our family today.